And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Libra. Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button down in the bottom corner. That way, when new posts and videos are made, you can get updated about what the stars have to say. Also, as a reminder, individual reads are now reopened. So if you're interested in getting a one-on-one with me, please message, link is in bio, also on the main, or email me and we can set that up, okay? So what we're looking at in this round of reads is going to be your career read for the month of January. About a week ago, we did the first and last, not only for the month, but the new year, about what this month entails. Here in this round of reads, it's more focused on the labor that we put in, contracts that we make, partnerships we want to make, ventures we want to embark on, but ultimately spelling out what does our work do for us as we do for it. So as a preamble to this read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, it when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to purposely mislead you or misguide you. That's not what I do here, trust me. We just lay it out on the table, good or bad, come rain or sunshine, and we talk about it. Think of it like a conversation, okay? So with that being said, let's see what the cards say. We're going to do a past, present, future orientation with the past being located over here. Okay, Libra? Let's start. So what's the cards that we need to see, please, for the Libra Collective? What are the cards you need us to see, please, for the Libra Collective in terms of their career read? Starting with the past orientation. There we go. Quick, easy, simple. I like it. Okay, the notion of confusion, the Two of Swords. What do we need to stop and meditate over? Three of Pentacles, cooperative and collaborative efforts. In what way? King of Swords, how to do the right thing. Okay, so ethics, Libra. I get the sense I'm talking to somebody who is more in the leadership role of a team, and what they have to say is not the prettiest thing that must be said, right? Whatever Libra this is connecting with the most right now, because again, we're talking about collectives, not just individuals. That's why people get one-on-one reads as opposed to all signs-based reading, because we're talking about collective energies, correct? Here, especially because it's a past orientation, what is the right thing to do when the right thing to do has to address the wrong things on the team, right? The Three of Pentacles represents collaboration. However, if everything was crystal clear and peachy, we wouldn't have the Two of Swords. That King of Swords then coming out and saying, no, we're not confused. It's just that the fair and equitable thing for me to say is that maybe some people aren't lifting their weight. And if I had to be like the team leader, the supervisor, whatever in this situation, we also got to call some things out. And it's not going to look pretty because it's going to make some enemies, right? It's not going to leave a good taste in people's mouths. What's going on, at least in that situation, Libra, we're trying to be fair. We're trying to be equitable. We're trying to be understanding in a scenario where, no, above all the feelings I may hurt or what's going on here, we need teamwork, and we're not collaborating properly. We're not doing our deliverables properly. Whatever that means for you, I'm not entirely sure, but I still get the sense that you're more in the leadership role that's having to say, listen, it's not looking pretty right now. And that's just where it's at, okay? So next, what about the present? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Libra in this read. What about the present orientation of the here and now for Libra in their read today? Hierophant, the card of Taurus. What do we feel spiritually guided to do? But even more so, what is our calling here? Oh, this is going to be fun. I'll start with this one. Emperor, the card of Aries. Interesting that you got two of the most stubborn cards right next to each other. What do we have to do? We got to make a decision. Now, All the uncomfortable things are going to get said. Let's talk about it. It's just so much. I'll do it in pairs first. Don't think that just because I pulled them out in pairs, that's automatically their correlated response. These are all coming out in your present, Libra. It is a lot. First, Nine of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. For the amount of work and effort that is put in slowly and over time, you know that it comes with dedication, right? The thing is, does it always pan out evenly? The answer I will put very bluntly to you is no. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had this debate back here. That's the first. Second, emotional fulfillment with the Ace of Cups comes with that Four of Swords. A moment of reprieve, a moment to relax, but even more so, a moment to recalibrate. Yes, we're trying to be fair. Totally understand that. And some things must be said. Does that make it a bad thing? No. Does that make you a bad person? No. But we do have to address what's going on here, because for a team, it looks a lot like only a few people are contributing. And maybe the solace in that truth can bring out a better answer. Next, Hangman and the Nine of Cups. My self-fulfillment is tied to what's been trapped in suspension. While we have tried to parlay this and say, hey, it may not be this, let's give it another chance or give it another go. No, sometimes what we saw was what we saw, right? The purpose of the Hangman ultimately is somebody who climbed a tree and hung themselves by the foot upside down so that they could get an inverted 180 gaze at the world. What they did not see, they forcibly tried to change their perspective. And so the only thing that's not going to have you be tired, exhausted, and worn out in this situation is if we just say, no, it's not been good. It's really not been good. You haven't been happy in a very long time. And it's not necessarily the fact that it's animosity towards you or other people on your team. It's more so the notice that what we originally set out to do, either it's not being accomplished. Well, it really isn't being accomplished, but that's a collective thing. But more than that, the weight is not being pulled evenly, and you could see it pan out across everybody, right? Not everybody's pulling their weight. So what do we do when we make that judgment call? And lastly, how do we show our truest and best and most honest emotional selves? That Nine of Cups alongside that Five of Swords, right? We feel like it's a bad thing to call it out, but if we don't, the problem stays. It's not easy. It is not easy at all. Right now is an emotional words that I can't say without getting flagged. Let's put it like that. It is very tough for you right now because you're having to come to the conclusion of everything going on, and it's not pretty. It really isn't. And especially if you're in a leadership role, Libra, like I'm very much getting the vibe of right now, you have to call a spade, because the way that's sustaining is not sustainable. And that's just where you are. You don't have to feel bad about it. You just have to understand it better. Okay, next. Future. Reveal the future orientation of the what if for Libra in this read. What is held in the space of the what if for Libra in this read today. And if you're new to my channel or my videos, that's what I mean when I say I can't take cards unless they hit the table. Boom. All of that is laid out on the table. So show the future orientation for Libra in my read today. Ten of Cups. Okay. Harmony with everything going right where it needs to be. Four of Cups. Yeah, we may not like the final determination, but that doesn't mean we already haven't come to that conclusion. What then is coupled with that? The Ten of Wands, the burden that we have to sit with. So, will telling the truth set us free? Yes. Guess what it's also going to do? Piss us off, right? Truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. And here, that Ten of Cups being harmonized, yeah, I said what I need to say. I've been holding out on it for the longest. It may have rubbed people the wrong way, whatever, but the burden I had to sit with is that this is what needed to be said. If it was better from the beginning, then things would have changed. But I'm looking at a Libra who, in the current, they're really having to drive the point home that things are not going well in terms of whatever collaborative efforts of a team project or just their overall site, company, organization, or whatever. It's not looking pretty. And so in the future, we had to sit with duality. Yes, I would be emotionally relieved, and the stress would be off of my back when I have to say what needs to be said. And simultaneously, I have to also understand how that builds up over time, right? I didn't want to be hurtful. I didn't want to be, disdainful or distasteful. And, I was trying to approach my teammates about what was going on. And simultaneously, the only way we're going to move forward is to readdress what's going wrong in the present. Underneath it all, King of Pentacles, we know how to make the right investment. With all of our faculties here, when we can call a spade, we can move forward properly. What's going on? Because the only way, it's math, right? The only way we can solve a problem, we must first establish that it exists. Next, cards of connection. Real connective energies, please. The bridging gap between all time-based orientations located here in this read defined. What occupies the empty space is held between first the past and present orientation for Libra in this read. What is held between the what was and what is? Seven of Swords. That all is not as appears to be on the surface, i.e., if we keep on pretending it don't exist, it's just going to become more and more obvious. Next, Three of Cups. Meeting the right people, doing the right things. I think this Three of Cups more has to pertain to you finding trusted people that you have in this dynamic that can help support you, not only in executing whatever plan you're trying to make go through, but also the notion that, hey, I think that you're confident. This isn't us trying to gas you up. This is just saying, this is what we need. Can I get some support in this? So you're looking for help. I get it. Also, the Emperor, the card of Aries. I don't know if this person is an Aries, but it does spell out the notion that you're more fostering up to the idea of decision making, and what you say is rule. And that's why in the present, oh boy, there is a lot to be said. Understood though. Understood. You want help, not in the essence of like, oh, we're backstabbing people, we're gonna make it, a hostile environment, whatever. No, I want everybody to thrive and live in their best, whatever it is. But to be honest, gotta call it a spade. We're not gonna get there in our current circumstance. So we either pretend the problem doesn't exist, or we exist in the problem and fix it. And I know what side you're taking right now. Next, between the present and the future, show us the cards that we need to see, please. What is held between the what is and the what if? Five of Wands, external conflict. And now the things that we were, not very keen on in our past orientation, they still are present and they still come out, but at least we're able to solve them when they do. Next, King of Wands, properly. Doing the best we can with what we have here, finding everything to be worth it. And how do we execute that properly? And lastly, the Hierophant, the card of Taurus, what do we feel guided to do, right? What do we feel is our calling in this particular situation? How do we apply the best of ourselves as the scale bearers to say, hey, I'm still having the best interest for everybody at heart here. I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way, but this is just where we are, and this is where it's headed. Underneath it all, Eight of Cups. The notion of walking away. You're taking the active effort of abandonment. Here, I don't necessarily see you, leaving the job or leaving anything behind, but more so in the effort of this idea that I'm going to placate and let this problem grow. I can't do that anymore. We have to leave that behind in order to push to where we need to go. Right? Because the Eight of Cups, while it is a form of intentionality, i.e. me leaving point A to get to point B is also a goal that's headed towards. It's not just like we abandon point A and then we have nowhere to go, right? There's always a purpose behind it. Okay? Next, define the major arcana strewn across the table within this read for Libra. We will start first with the Emperor, the card of Aries, in the in-between space. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Define the major arcana strewn across the table for Libra in the read. We start with fostering or having to make a choice. Five of Pentacles, right. The reason why we have to make the choice And I don't think that the other people on your team or whatever collaborative dynamic necessarily see this of you, Libra. Um, you don't want to come off as though we're trying to basically fire people or trying to have people feel like they're being left behind. That's the exact opposite. However, there's no other way to say it. It ain't going good right now. It is not going good. But I think that that's why, you're trying to seek help with that Three of Cups of saying, who can I trust? Who can deliver on it? How do we execute this properly so that we move forward in a productive manner? Got it. I totally understand. Will the people see it that way, especially those who aren't lifting their weight? Probably not. But it doesn't change that your intentionality is coming from a good place. And I do recognize that. Let's look at the Hierophant over here. Eight of Swords. From the notion of powerlessness, because again, the Eight of Swords is a card of, they call it chosen blindness, although that can come off as like an ableist term. It always is represented by a person trapped in an open air cage of swords. Can they get out? Yes. Might they cut themselves on the way out? Also yes. And what that spells out is that the obvious answer is an answer that we don't like, right? That way, we have to guide ourselves back to the truth of saying in our present, this is why I had to take this disposition. I'm not happy about doing it either. But I'm also not happy about having to deliver the message. It doesn't change the fact that I have to, but we're here now. What do we do with that? Next to the Emperor, Eight of Pentacles. We know what is best. You've seen the best in your team. You've seen the best in even beyond all the flaws. And we know that we're capable. We know that we can do this. I know I've seen better from all of you. Let's get to where we need to go. To the Hangman, the Sun. And so waiting for the fulfillment that seems ever so far off in the horizon, it actually comes when we start to address things. We start to fix things when we establish that the problem exists. It's math. To the Hierophant, Ten of Cups, harmony and synchronicity. Here's what we do with what we're given. And so did it always turn out neat and even? Absolutely not. But did we say the things that we needed to? Absolutely. So in the crossing pattern, Nine of Wands again, here, the efforts that we put in, what do we get out? More conflict. Here, conflict is not bad though, because it actually establishes all the stuff that we felt bad about saying before. No, we call it out and we fix the problem. That's how we get there. We don't get there by ignoring it and just, kumbaya in a circle and saying, it's one world after all, right? It has to do with fixing the problem tangibly and creating steps to get there. What do we do now? So, resolution, reveal cards of resolution within this read. Let's tell in the space of resolution for our read today. Let's tell in the space of resolution for the read today. Show Libra what they need to see, please. Page of Wands. At the very least, we maintain a consistent level of optimism. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. It doesn't feel like the best thing right now because, again, we're addressing a lot of conflict that has built up over time, but this is the right path. I want to believe in it. That's how I'm pushing forward. Next, Nine of Pentacles. To make the right and most productive investment means investing for the long haul, right? We do it right, we do it correctly, even if we do it bit by bit. Underneath it all, Ten of Swords, a painful ending. One that we must understand and come to is that, back at square one, I gotta say the unlikable thing. This is how we move forward. So what do I see in your read today, Libra? Oh boy. You're going to have to break the news to a collective group of people that's collaborating on a project that it is not the bee's knees right now, right? Whether that be an ongoing problem on the team or just not getting our set out goals and our mission accomplished, it's not looking good. And whereas opposed to that being a, building tension in the past and then needing to get that help in between the space in the present, oh no, we're going to have to say it and we're going to have to say it post haste. It's not because you hate anybody. It's not because you dislike anybody at a personal level. It's that it is what it is. To get to where we want to go, we have to establish the problems in the present. Live in the present of the problems of the now, right? That's just where it's at. And where we want to be, although, it may not be taken the best by everybody in the initial output, ultimately it's going to be what's best. It is. But we have to start noticing the problem so that we can fix it bit by bit, little by little. That's what I see in your read today, Libra. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, get the help that you need to make it work out. But understand, you know what you saw. You know what you saw. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.